Hi friends! Welcome to another monthly faves. Today we're diving into the treasures of May. I have to say May was quite extraordinary for makeup. I think I've been the most enthusiastic thus far about my most recent makeup purchases, items I received from PR, and I always find myself approaching makeup application with unbridled excitement. I can't wait to get into my Phytosurgence, my Danessa, and my Suqqu. And each and every time I use these makeup items, it's like, why bother with anything else? Before we get into the makeup, I actually have a few categories to cover, and I wanted to start with skincare, specifically covering the items that I finished and wanted to give you updates, and two of those being from the Peach and Lily line, the Matcha Pudding Antioxidant Cream and the Glass Skin Refining Serum. Now, although I did buy these items a few years ago, back in February, Peach and Lily reached out to me via Instagram to ask if I wanted any PR from the brand, and I gladly accepted. They sent me several items, two of them being the Matcha Cream and Glass Skin Serum. I finished both. The Matcha Pudding, completely done. Okay, maybe there's some, I still got some left. I do enjoy the Glass Skin Serum. I think I will repurchase this if I happen to encounter a sale, whether it be on the Peach and Lily site or the Ulta site. Sometimes they do have specials running for Peach and Lily. Instead of the matcha cream, I think I'll continue using the Glass Skin Moisturizer. We are entering warmer, more humid weather conditions, and I think the gel moisturizer is a much more appropriate texture to use. I also have the Refer Gel Cream Moisturizer that has dimethicone, which I think a vital ingredient in making a said product a moisturizer, to provide that occlusivity in preventing humectants from evaporating from the skin. The water gel moisturizer, I found when looking through the ingredients, didn't have a identifiable occlusive ingredient, but it could be one that I just couldn't make out from the scientific name, right? So let me know down below. But even still, my skin still feels good despite the fact that it doesn't have shea butter, dimethicone, or these other occlusives, but I still have my Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer, which I think still pretty lightweight. So will not rebuy this right away because I have these products on deck and I will update you as everything goes. But I think these two will be my products of choice going forward, at least through the summertime. And Peach Slices is, I think, Peach and Lily's drugstore brand. This is the Snail Mucin all-in-one oil-free moisturizer. I quite like this product. It's fragrance-free, lightweight. Depending on your skin type, you can use this as a serum-like gel moisturizer before a heavier moisturizer, especially if you're not in this same climate, if you're in drier, colder conditions. I treat this as a booster, if you will. Rare that I apply this solo. I haven't tried it solo yet, again, because I treat it as a step before my moisturizing one, but I love the fact that it has the snail secretion, an ingredient I like to use in between my tretinoin and AHA serums, although it might not have the same potency in terms of tackling hyperpigmentation, blemishes, other skin conditions that I think are better remedied with the tretinoins and vitamin C's of the world. But those in-between days that I need more calming, soothing irritation, but would still contribute to brightening the skin and evening the tone, I love all those benefits and properties, and I think the Snail Mucin delivers just that. And despite its gel-like texture, it doesn't leave the skin feeling sticky or like too tacky. It has a lovely silky touch to it, which again, great under a moisturizer if you decide to apply one after this, or great solo if you decide to use this as your primary moisturizer. And here we are. Now, thanks to RC, who recommended that I try the Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. These products are virtually the same in terms of the biphase technology, where you see the separation of the ingredients. The kombucha, there you go. So these are very similar in nature in terms of what they deliver, how they're formulated, and the end of the day, this is $30 and this is $86. I don't see a significant difference between both. I'm sure you can split hairs in deciphering the different benefits from each. Ultimately, when I apply, whether it be the pat or the Dr. Ceuracle, it has a beautiful emollient feel. I love how my skin is like bouncy and elastic. Prime for my serum and moisturizers to be applied after. Great under makeup, especially as I will cover later in the video, the Danessa blurring balm, my other foundations. The con is the Pat McGrath essence does have fragrance, and I think not fantastic if you have allergies. Even if your allergies are fine, you're just sensitive to fragrance. If you have sensitive skin, not optimal to use fragranced skincare. So I think if you want the same experience from the Pat McGrath, you can definitely find it in the Kombucha essence. And you know I love Pat McGrath. I have practically all of her makeup. I'm also on her PR list. This is not to take anything away from the essence, because some of you had pointed out, and I think important too, that I don't want to take away Pat's experience and that experience she puts into her products. Again, I went over this in my original video, her experience in runway makeup, in creating these concoctions that she can finally sell and share with her audience. It's fantastic, right? To use a product that Pat has been using for years, just being a part of her process is great, right? In the end though, we all have a budget, and if you want something similar, still a fan of Pat, but again, your skin sensitivity issues, or you just don't like the smell of rose but you like fragrance, then this is, I think, a great alternative. I've been using it every day, twice a day actually, and despite how hot it has become, I don't think it very heavy on the skin. Its emollient texture, or rather the silkiness that's left behind when I apply it, amplifies the benefits from my other products, again, without my skin feeling heavy. And I also feel helps the makeup just look more skin-like in finish, despite how many products I apply. It's like a sponge. I guess sponge has negative connotations, especially because I don't like to use them at all. It's a strange occurrence where, although there is an apparent slickness to the skin, it's not oily, greasy, or doesn't cause the makeup to run or to break apart. It, again, positively contributes to my skin's texture in regards to how it appears after makeup application or without, even though you can still see without makeup my hyperpigmentation, that there's a little bit of glow, a little bit of sheen that helps the skin not appear flat and dull, which I think can further amplify the look of blemishes, right? I think that glow and luminosity you get from the essence overall just helps your complexion look more even toned and blurred, in my opinion. I think that's it for skincare. Now we can move into the makeup, and where should I begin? Well, of course, I had to start here. Yes, I have 3 of the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. I originally purchased shades 5 and 6, and I went over this in my summer skin video where I swatched all 3, so you have a better idea of the different undertones and shade colors. 5 and 6 work wonderfully. In fact, I applied 5 today under Suqq's liquid foundation, because the Blurring Balm Powder is a primer, a powder, and light coverage foundation all in one. You can apply it as you see fit. I thought today I would try it as a primer, and I enjoy the fact that it does provide some light coverage and will allow then the Suqqu foundation to lay down a little more coverage without overwhelming the skin. The fact that 040 is yellow undertone and the shade 5 from Danessa's balm is golden, I think they mesh well and they leave my complexion looking nice and even and golden. 6 definitely is more toasty in nature, and I've been using 6 as my go-to everyday shade. And of course, I covered this in my original Danessa video as well as my update one in summer skin video, where I just adore the ease of use. I can pop this open, dab my brush in, and go to town. There's no pumping, there's no mixing, there are no extra steps. It's just accessible, easy, done, and that's pretty much the vibe I reach for. I prefer to deal with when it comes to summer makeup. When it becomes uncomfortably hot, I tend to wear less. And to have a product that is formulated to soak up excess oil and sweat throughout the day because of the ESULYNYC technology, yes, again, I will reach towards those products more often, the blotting powders of the world, okay? To have some light coverage, yes, it's not going to entirely cover my blemishes, but I'll get to the concealer in a minute. To have a one and done product that will even out my skin tone and will get my complexion together quickly is appealing to use more often than not. And if I need more coverage, I'll use my concealer, and I had demonstrated that when applying concealer on top of the blurring balm. They mesh well, undetectable. It blurs the hyperpigmentation, everything flows together. It's wonderful, all while feeling lightweight in nature, especially when it becomes 95 temperature humidity wise. Okay, as for the concealer, this month I tried the Saie Hydrabeam concealer. This is in shade 5. Phenomenal. I use this under my eyes. I have a separate video going over the swatches and comparing this to the LYS. It's warmer than TN3 and especially MG5 from LYS, but it works out. I think the golden undertone of this color helps to cancel out darkness under my eyes. Also phenomenal on the rest of my face. If I wanted to cover my blemishes, it works well with the Danessa Balm in both shade 5 and 6. And something I appreciate from this concealer is that the doe foot applicator does not deposit a ton of product. You get a lot of product from the LYS doe foot, but I like the fact that you don't get a ton from here, and I think it helps just to limit the amount of makeup you use at once. It's easier to apply more, not as easy to take away. Sometimes I use a little of the LYS MG5 on the inner corners under the eye, and then I'll mix it with the Saie, and the lighter medium undertone golden tone from MG5 mixed with the warmer tone from the Saie concealer. You can't tell I used both, but they balance each other out very well. And the Saie is light coverage, the LYS medium. And I don't mind the light coverage. Again, when we're going into summertime, I don't need my under eyes looking like blank canvases. It's totally fine. I just need a little bit of color correction, evening out. It's more emollient too, so if you need to set, you'll set. But I've just come to a point where if I see it start to gather, I just do this. Which rarely it does because I do set with my Linda blotting powder, and the combination has been working out phenomenally. Phytosurgence was so kind to send me some PR. They sent me their Spectral Shine in Dew of Dawn, as well as their 2 Skin Spark blush bombs in Inferno and Singe. The Phytosurgence Spectral Shine I adore because it's a rare highlighter product that delivers glow and luminosity without the typical pearl shine reflectivity. And because it is a drier cream, this is fantastic for oily skin types who want to get into highlighter but they felt they couldn't because a lot of highlighter products on the market have a lot of emolliency, and if you have oily skin, it breaks down. It's not a great matchup, right? You get the glow and luminosity from the Spectral Shine, but because again of the drier nature of the formula, it actually can take away excess shine while leaving behind the glow. That's a great trade-off, I have to say. You can use this applying your finger, or you can take a brush, buff it onto your skin, and you don't have to keep it exclusively on your cheekbone. You can bring it lower and not worry about the pore thing because this is not a pore accentuating texture. In fact, it's very blurring in nature. If you're one who wish they could wear highlighter lower on the cheeks, you can with this product. It comes in several shades. This is Dew of Dawn, which is like a rose gold type of a champagne hue. Beautiful. And if you want a more golden hue, you can place it lower here on the cheeks, and again, it won't make your pores look huge. It will give them a little blurring while delivering that lovely glow. And the Skin Spark blushes, a moussey texture that has I mean, crazy pigmentation, but the blend ability is phenomenal. Just so smooth on the skin, and despite it being a mousse, it doesn't leave a dry texture behind. It doesn't dull the cheeks. It gives the cheeks color and some luminosity without the shine that you might get maybe from Tower 28. I would say the LYS Satin Matte is similar to this, dry down, not matte, not satin, just in between. The Danessa Dew Wet Balm is something you'll get a lot more shine from, so you kind of have to decide which texture will be right for your skin condition. But what stand out, the color. I don't know if you can tell, but this is, I have to do a video. One of you has suggested that I film a video dedicated to highlighting my top favorite terracotta tone blushes in my collection. I'm doing it. It's happening. Inferno has to be one of the most beautifully curated colors I have ever encountered and now have in my collection, hands down. I could wear this with Paradise Venus. I could wear this with the Tangerine blush from Suqqu, which I'll get to in a minute. I could wear this with Desert Orchid, again from Pat's line, from the Infinity Palette Glam from LH Cosmetics. There are so many combinations. Again, I just can't get enough of this hue, and this is what I have on the face, of course, today for the video. The second shade they sent me was Singe. Singe is more of a vibrant pink, but look at this. It has a warmth and coral tone to it that has that brightening effect to the complexion. This is definitely my go-to shade if, for instance, Danessa Balm, Saie, blush, maybe a little bit of the Benefit Brow Gel, and I'm done. I'm done. The blush bombs have great application with a finger, with a brush. Today I use my Sonia G Classic Base. I could also use my fingers and it'll be a great even application. One of the easiest cream blush products I have ever encountered, I have ever used. And yes, I do want to buy more, but I'm holding back because there's something about just fully appreciating and loving gifts, okay, first and foremost, but committing to these colors and knowing that no matter how long I use them for, they're going to be fantastic. I could venture in the berry tones too from the Phytosurgence line when we get into fall, absolutely. But from a practical standpoint, I am convinced that these two shades right here, these are all I need for the summertime, and I'll be good to go. Most definitely. Into Suqqu's Global Summer Collection. I have 115 Enka now on the eyes. I took this to Bay's house one weekend and I just used this quad. Some days I applied just this color, then both, then just this color with the matte. It forces my creativity by not having 15, 12 shades, because that's easy. If you just have 4, how many looks can you pull from just 4 shades? And it's okay if they all look the same, because you know what? If I wasn't a YouTuber, I probably wouldn't have this much makeup. Absolutely. But these shades with the Skin Spark blush bombs from Phytosurgence, with everything that I had just presented, and 115 was sent to me by Suqqu. Thank you again, always so kind and generous. I decided to buy 116 Koku, which is what I wore in my Sonia G Hinoki Set video, and many of you love that look. This palette is so gorgeous. The cool tones complement Enka beautifully, but using these colors solo, it's fantastic, sophisticated, elegant, just right. The blush products from the summer collection, oh my gosh. So over Inferno, I also apply the Melting Blush color in 102. Is it 102? I believe it's 101. I always get them mixed up. This shade right here, rude. This shade with Inferno is absolutely out of this world, and the way they complement each other fires up that bronzy terracotta tone from Inferno and inviting the vibrant tangerine shade from the Melting Blush from the Suqqu line. It's just a match made in heaven. And the melting highlighter formula, this is like a shiny champagne gold. I love to apply this on top of everything. So I applied it a little lower today. it just wraps the rest of the colors in its sunshine golden hue, and the gradient that's produced is perfect. I decided to buy 102, and although it doesn't have the same punch as 101, it has a beautiful sheen, which I use on the lower part of my cheeks if I wanted something more subdued. Maybe I applied Inferno too low and I could use 101 to just lighten up the gradient so it looks more creamsicle here and gets more terracotta as the color moves higher. I've been using these nonstop, and again, I look forward to it. It's exciting to me. I love that I don't have to decide what blush to use today, and why I've been holding off on the makeup purchases lately, because I just want to enjoy what I have at the moment and fully commit to that. Whereas if I keep buying new things, I can't fully appreciate what I have. And again, these items have just knocked it out of the park for me. Every day, I love the looks that are created, and I know they look the same. I get that because they are the same products I use, but that's fine. That's fine. And if I wanted to use my Rare Beauty or my LYS or my Tower 28, the options are there. But right now, the heaven I'm in right now is working out fine. I want to stay here for a little bit. Thank you so much for understanding. You can visit. The lipsticks, I'm not sure if you noticed, but 108 and 109 from Suqqu Summer Collection. 108 is what I have on right now. This is their sheer matte formula. One of the best lipstick formulas out there. And I know I'm not an expert on lipstick where I don't have a ton. I have not tried all the brands, all the finishes, all the formulas. I can say with confidence that the sheer matte lipstick formula from Suqqu is one of the most innovative finishes ever. It's sheer, matte, but smooth and comfortable all at the same time. It wraps your lips well, doesn't feel dry, easy to apply, but the colors are phenomenal. This is 109, a more toasty brown version of 108, what I have on the lips now. Yes, it's orange, but it's more like a muted, vibrant orange, which I feel it more approachable to wear. Yeah? Look at that. Here again is the shade next to its counterpart. Amazing. And especially with what I have on now, it makes me more confident to wear these types of shades more often, to escape the beiges of the world. You know, we have all year for the beiges. So to get into these oranges now where I think it's seasonally appropriate, you can wear them whatever you want. But for me personally, I like wearing them now. We got to get into it. The Moisture Rich lipstick in 123. This is more of a balm consistency, but it's so easy to wear, and it gives the lips a beautiful tint and shine with that coral hue. Great just for whipping it on, maybe some blush on the cheeks, fluffed out brows, and you're done. Suqqu Summer Collection has blew my mind, and I've been using both quads, the lipsticks, the blush products extensively, and every time I do is heaven. Pure and utterly so. To amplify the Suqqu lipstick, however, I have to give a shout out to ESUM. They have released their 2 dual lip liner colors months ago, and I failed to share these earlier. So thank you, ESUM, for being so patient with me. I wanted to finally share these on a favorites video, and of course, I use this pencil, the Brazen pencil, appropriately named. This liner with the Suqqu Sheer Matte lipstick, absolutely perfect. It's not completely orange. It has a little bit of coral red in there, but I think great to pair with the Sheer Matte because these don't budge. Okay, perfect for the summertime. Whatever you apply on your lips after you apply one of these suckers is staying on. No bleeding, no feathering. In addition to Brazen, you have blushed. I love these shades. I'm trying to get into more rose tone lipstick, which Suqqu has a lot of as well. And I think it's tough to nail these rosier tones because they could look a little too pink on me. But these are perfect for my skin tone and my lip. You know, the Pillow Talks of the world. Also, there's a Suqqu color, a sheer matte lipstick one that pretty much is similar to the shades here. And again, sheer matte formula with the ESUM dual lip liner formula. And I have to share Emily Violet Marie's collaboration with Clio Cosmetics, the Dragon Fruit Palette. I made this point in my original video where although this is vibrant, colorful, the finishes, we're dealing with the multi-chromes and the duochromes and the velvet satins, okay, and the metallic this, metallic that. I applied Fruit Fizz and Strawberry Pear on top of some of the Suqqu Enka shades. You can't even tell, but close up, you can probably detect a little bit of that sparkle and shine, which you can see better if you have a hard light over it. It's just a nice supplement and fun to incorporate these shades that you might not use on the regular. I get it. If you're not into those types of shades, you're not going to like the palette. But if you're fluid in that way, you like the bronzes, but you also love the chartreuses and the duochrome this and that, you can mix and match in a way that can give your more basic quad or palette a little more oomph, but it's not going to put you over the edge. But if you want to go there, then you have the resources to do so, and you definitely can go nuts with the Dragon Fruit Palette. I had a blast using this over the weekend as well as in my original video for it. It's fantastic. I'm happy that I bought it. I love that these are all in one palette. Yes, is it much to take 2 palettes along for the ride? I could argue not really. As long as you have the right makeup bag, you can make it happen. Especially now for the summertime, possibilities are endless. You could really have a lot of fun with that. Brushes, without a doubt, Sonia G's limited edition Hinoki set. I brought these over the weekend as I had mentioned in my original video. Many of you had also shared your experience with these brushes and it has been wonderful. This brush right here, you had said that fluffs up more when you wash it again. I probably won't wash it until next month because I don't want, you know, this is high grade Psycho goat hair. I don't want to wear the bristles too much, so I'm gonna hold off on that as well as the small brush. But this has been the MVP brush and I toggle between them because when I use both, they are phenomenal and I love the feel, the silkiness of it. This is the most unique shape I have in my collection in regards to this category of a brush. It's not a fan brush. It's also not just a flat on both sides type of a brush. It's very unique, and despite its density, it has great flexibility, which makes it fantastic for different parts of your makeup routine. But the small Hinoki brush, look at this. I love this for under eye setting, for blush, for highlighter, to place some color here into the hollows, especially if it's a shade like, hold on, yesterday I applied this shade from Linda's palette. It's not your typical bronzer shade, but because of the brush's size, it makes it easy to pinpoint the area you wish to place this color on. It doesn't take it too far high or down, and it buffs it beautifully. And it gives me sculpt despite it not being a traditionally hued contour or bronze color. That's going to be on my terracotta list, by the way, just so you know. This does shed more than the bigger Hinoki brush. I don't mind it. I get it off my face, probably due to the ferrule. Maybe this is not as tightly bound as others, like here in this Tonseido brush. This is a little more compact, maybe it has a better grip. Regardless, I don't care. It's an easy fix, and the finish I get is well worth the time I spend to take away a stray hair here and there. Is fine with me. Let me know down below what your experience has been, but I am thinking of getting another backup because these are limited edition, and just to have one set for keepsake and to have another for practical use is weighing on me a little bit. I have to say, I don't know if I'm gonna go through with it, but it's tempting. It's a tempting notion. Nail polish. You know I love my nail polish, but the collection that took me by surprise, I didn't realize until I wore these and saw them on my footage while editing, is the ISLYNYC Cloud 9 collection. 3 out of the 6. Now, when I saw these initially, I was like, that's nice. I like those. But when I saw the swatches really just wowed me beyond belief, and I knew I had to get it. These have a pastel base, but a strong shimmer running through them. And I think beautifully appreciated when on the nails. And you can see that I have them on a few of my videos. This is one of my favorites. Rain Shower. Rain Shower has the blue pastel base, but you just have this strong pink shimmer running through it. Look at that. It's extraordinary. And I love the first one I showed. First Light is your off pink base, but a strong pink shimmer running through it. And Harper has the lavender base with this like teal shimmer running through. And I found that I like pastels. Like I have my white polish on now because I had to film for Stretch It Out, and this is what I like to wear for that content. But I also loved the pastels from Mooncat's Technicolor Dreams collection. I just like these types of shades on my skin tone, especially for the season, and I've been wearing the heck out of the Cloud 9 collection. I like to do 3 coats, but you just need 2 for full opacity and making sure you get a nice even application on each coat. But these are great. I have this on now, but I'm thinking about switching it tonight. These are so good. Again, better appreciated on the nails, just a unique take on pastel colors, but bringing that extra element to the forefront and it just being so well done. It's like if you wanted to get into these types of like duochrome types of nail polishes, but you couldn't find the right color that was appropriate for your workspace, or maybe just for you weren't into like the vibrant colors, but you still wanted those shifts on the nail polish, this is a great way to get into it, but still the overall polish color appears soft, and when you put the light on, you're like, ooh, it's not just lavender. It's lavender, teal, moss green, seafoam, whatever else is in there. Can't get enough, so happy I bought these. And lastly, had to share some anime fun. This is from a family member whose daughter loves to do anime fan art on phone cases. So here we have the Kocho sisters. This is hand painted, friends. Look at this. I was so grateful when they had reached out to ask if I wanted one because they saw that I am an anime fan, and just for a gift to be shared like that, I was so honored. And isn't this just so beautiful? This is hand painted, friend. Hand painted. Look at the Kocho sisters. I'm not going to get into the story, but if you see Demon Slayer, you know, okay? So a huge thank you to my friends for this creation or for sending it to me. I don't have it on my phone now because I switch back and forth, and I have my little my Rengoku Mimo Puff phone grip on at the moment. And I like phone grips, but I don't want to cover my Kocho sisters. But even just having it like this, I mean, this is art in itself. This is like, I don't even have to put it on the phone. Maybe I could wear it as a pendant. And lastly, we have from Lumi Store, Canadian-based brand, where you have handmade light boxes. Now I know it's hard to see because it's daylight, but this is Rengoku, and in the dark it's pretty cool. You have the flames behind him and his eyes lit up. It's just fantastic. And of course, Lumi Store has different characters from popular anime shows. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to support these artists, whether it's a phone case or a light box, because just to have that through line of sharing our enthusiasm for shows that we love to watch, for artwork that we admire, to be a part of that, I think I'm just grateful to be here at this time and to support them any way I can. And that's why I've been buying less makeup, or I haven't been launching at new releases, because there are other things I want to buy and there are other things that I want to love and spend my money on, where they're just so special in that way, because again, they're handmade and from someone's admiration and love for said show, said art discipline, however you want to understand it. It's just great. This has been a fantastic month, and I'm so grateful again for the opportunity that some items were PR, some items I was able to buy. This is without a doubt that all the items that I showed, I use enthusiastically and happily, that there's a gratefulness that emerges when I find myself applying the Suqqu powder, or when I look at my phone case. And again, as I said earlier on in the video, just pausing for a minute and appreciating what I have, and then in a few weeks I'll move on to the next thing. But I think it's okay for me to just sink in to what is available to me now, what I can use now. And yes, I understand that reviewing new makeup is helpful in someone deciding if they should buy something or not. You know, I'm not going to buy the new Mario whatever because I have my Danessa bombs, right? Even if it's a fantastic product, I have something already that makes me happy, and it's okay to wait and to not dive into the new right away, and which is why I'm trying to come up with more ideas in using the makeup I already have, but producing content that is also helpful in that respect still, even if it's not reviewing a new product and helping you decide if you want something or not. I think there's also the concept of using what we have and maybe creating a resurgence of interest for our makeup that has been sitting in our drawer. Maybe we forgot about it, and creating more points of view in order to truly appreciate what we have and convincing ourselves that we don't necessarily need the newest thing unless we want to replace something we used up, or we're not happy with what we have and you're still on the search for that holy grail product that will change your life. I can say again, the products that I showed swell me up with joy. And I think in the end, that's all that matters. Let me know if you've been using Frenzzz for the month of May, what you've been loving, not so much. Definitely share down below what your experiences have been, because there might be fan members who will appreciate the alternatives if said products didn't work out for them as well. I'll see you down in the comments, fam, and until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial, monthly favors extravaganza, or a terracotta blush video. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.